everyone, Shawn Clement here with our second edition of our weekly wisdom. And Gabrielle was asking me about doing a video on connection. And wow, that's something that keeps coming up. You know, there's a lot of stuff to cover. The reason why there's a lot of stuff to cover, though, is I'm sure Gabrielle has seen articles and magazines about, you know, how to keep the arms connected to the body. And we hear that so much throughout the golf world. And I'm going to really help you, clean that up mentally. Even some of the most prominent golf professionals, they put a head cover underneath your armpit, showing you how you want to keep your arms connected to your body. And, could you imagine a lumberjack taking an axe to the side of a tree and goes, I'm not really doing a very good job. And he takes the toque off his head and puts the toque underneath here and he says, oh yeah, much better. Don't think so. The shoulder, see, you have two ball socket systems in your body. Ball socket system in the hips, ball socket system in the shoulders. So if you look at Scully here, apologies, she's a little bit on the festive side. There's your ball socket system. So the arm itself, if you look at how we're built to deliver all kinds of actions, if I were to throw a ball, I would not try to hold my elbow to my side or put something underneath my armpit to throw in your direction. The shoulder has a massive network of muscles to hold it together. That's your connection. If I'm swinging a ball, if you look at fastball or softball or windmill pitching, you will see an incredible velocity from that pitch. Now, could you imagine we take the ball socket system out of play and we turn it into an elbow system? Well, the elbow is not a ball socket system. It doesn't perform the same way, number one. Number two, you just shortened the lever by half. So now imagine me trying to do the same thing. Doesn't that look ridiculous? Well, that's because it is. Sorry, golf industry, but this one is a biggie, and I'm taking off the gloves on this one because there's just enough craziness going on, and we need to stop the insanity, okay? So we don't need to perform any kinds of tasks to hold the arms to the body and try to control the action. And the reason why that this has been taught is that we're so afraid of making a darn mistake. Well, you can't make a mistake, okay? So if I had my grass whip, my grass cutting tool, and I'm going to use it just like a ball on a string. So we have a ball on a string and we twirl that ball around the hand. The ball represents the club head, the string, the bottom part of the string is the shaft, and the upper part of the string would be the arms, and where it's connected to my hand would represent the shoulder socket. So on our way we go. Now I have this velocity that I can pick up, and I can really deliver an incredible velocity this way. When I'm throwing overhead, same thing. You don't hold the elbow to your side, you would get no velocity whatsoever. And we're really not wired that way. We're wired to use the arm as a whole, and that's our launch pad. That's our catapult system. Okay? So if I do the same thing, you'll notice as I'm swinging this around my shoulder socket, it's creating a beautiful big arc. If I take both of these, connect my hands together, center of that would be the sternal notch, and then I allow gravity to pull on my arm club unit, creating this beautiful G-force. And I'm allowing those arms to swing freely. Now the connection that, if we're going to use the word connection, it is to connect ourselves with gravity, okay? So I let gravity track my arm club unit around that center. I let gravity track the arm club unit around that center. You watch any baseball player, you'll never see a baseball hitter connect the armpits to hit a baseball. Ever. Never happened. That person is still sitting in the schoolyard as the strikeout person of the year. Okay? So, you'll notice baseball players have this already expansive look to them, and as it's coming, you see what happens? You'll always see as the pitch is coming, as they take a step, they're throwing the arms away from themselves to create that width, and now they're going to use that to create that velocity, okay? And you notice how the bat's not coming out of my hands. My humerus, the upper arm, isn't getting pulled out of my shoulder socket. That would take 2 horses to do that. So I am beautifully connected, thank you very much, and so are you, okay? So, isn't that nice to know that you're wonderfully put together? That's awesome. So, if we now coordinate this beautiful action of gravity, and we allow the arms to swing freely, and we tap into that gravitational pull. So I'll start it right here. Let it swing. Let it swing. Let it swing. Now I can start stepping at the right moment. So here we go. Go in and see Fred Astaire golf dance. He does that quite well, okay? So now that I can predict, now gravity is tracking my arm club unit, I know when to step. So if I get to the driver, and many of you who struggle with the driver, I got 3 balls teed up right here. The more you try to keep yourself connected with the driver, well, now this is a very long club. Well, the more you try to hang on to this club, the more it's going to bite you. So the longer the club, the more you need to allow it to expand. So let me get my longest club here. This is a, you've seen the orange whip. Well, I have something even better than that. It's called a hitting stick. So this is the simulated baseball. You hold it out here for your young one to hit, and then they go ahead and hit that. And it's got a little strap here to put around your wrist so it doesn't get pulled away from you. Now this is a wonderful club to swing. So I allow it to swing. I allow it to swing. So you see how it's tracking from the shoulder sockets down. So at this length, I'm going to need to be over here. So if I take my driver, at that length, I'm going to be over here. So I'm allowing it to swing. I'm allowing it to swing. See that? So I started off. I want to catch the tip of the tee on the way up. I am getting ready to give control to gravity. I'm getting ready to connect myself with gravity. Let gravity take it. Isn't that cool? How I just nutted 3 drivers sitting on a tee? And because it's so predictable, I am allowing gravity to track this thing, and I'm giving it completely to gravity. Notice how it keeps hitting the tee, same thing over and over again? So that's just me allowing it to track, and then the brain goes, hey, I predict it's going to pass there. So if I'm over here, and I'm swinging back and through, let it swing. Let it swing. So it's like when you're crossing the street, and it's a busy intersection, and everybody's driving at a different speed, you kind of go, oh, no, that's too fast. Oh, okay, that's slow. Is that slow enough? Okay, go. You can't predict. But if you're sitting on the side of a street and all the cars are always passing at the same speed, and you're going, oh, right about now. So when I allow my arms to swing and I give gravity all of the control, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how easy it is to predict when to step? So on top of that, gravity is taking care of this. The brain sees that and knows exactly how much to step. Yeah, it'll be about that much. See how that works? So with the driver, same thing. Just a longer stem. And you notice when I was swinging that long hitting stick, did you see how long it took me to finish that swing? So the longer the club, the longer it's going to take to finish the swing. If you go to the Guinness Book of World Records, I think it was like 14-foot long driver that they were able to use to actually hit a ball at a minimum distance. I think it was 80 yards that they hit it. It took forever for that thing to round out and change directions and everything else. So that is a great way for you to make your driver feel like a wedge. So now you can see how the last thing you want to do is stick a head cover underneath your armpits and stunt your swing to oblivion, and then try to manipulate yourself down the fairway. If you're feeling that you're not hitting the ball far enough, there's your answer. So Gabrielle, thank you so much for bringing that to me. It's something I answer every day for my students, and somehow it must have fell through the cracks. Now you got the story. Now you can stop doing those things and start connecting yourself with gravity and abandonment and expansiveness. Enjoy.